And we are back, and I promise you a wonderful, dynamic, creative, inspiring artist. And we have him in the personage of Adrian Fulton. Welcome, Adrian.
Thank you, John.
All right. And as I said before, one of the things about Adrian that we share a kinship with is the United States Air Force. I'm sure he can tell you many stories. He will tell you at least a couple from that time, because one of them deals with his artistry. But he's a wonderful, dynamic individual. You can see several of his paintings at Cité des Arts, or many other areas around Lafayette and other parishes in this area, because he's just painted all over, and his work continuously grows, and he's even been invited to go to the White House. He completed a recent trip to the White House, and Laura Bush, as I understand it, was your host. All right, so he'll tell us about that trip as well. And he has painted many of the politicians in D.C. And again, he just will continue his wonderful creative output. I feel that this man, just like the late William Tolliver, will be big one day, and I can say I knew him when. And you painted a friend of mine, did a wonderful job, and hopefully she'll call in tonight. And that those two paintings are displayed at Cité des Arts on 109 Vine Street. As I said, you had a earlier showing, and several of your paintings currently reside at Cité des Arts. And so let's just get into how you started painting, because you held me in thrall as you told me about the nascent beginnings of your painting career and your philosophy of painting. So let's get into that, Adrian.
Well, first of all, I wanted to take a little sidebar and mention about the former guest that was here, Miss Pat Comier, and she invited me to volunteer to be a part of that. And education is something that's near and dear to my heart. And I feel that if it wasn't for people who took time with me when I was younger, that God only knows where I would be. I remember someone teaching me the perspective of the face, and that did a lot. If you don't have the resources, especially at a young age, if you don't have the resources, what will happen is you'll drift. And if you don't know how to obtain the resources, you'll drift. So I would make the analogy with art that once I was shown the perspectives of the face, it made it a lot easier. It's like having the architecture of a building. If you have a good foundation on it, then you can decorate it any way you want later. But I mean, if it doesn't make sense to decorate it if the thing is going to fall down. So that's a little back history of my basic philosophy. As far as art is concerned, I always was a very energetic person. I still am. I'm a very hyper person. In fact, yesterday I tried to stay away from coffee because I'm already buzzed. So I was driving along, and this guy had a flat tire, and I got out of the car yesterday, and I started helping him. It was an older guy. He didn't have a jack with him, and I feel that ever since I was a young person, I felt that there was not enough time, that life was just so brief, and you want to try to find enough kindred spirits out there to support a positive view. And if you do find yourself in a position where you're not with people who are positive, I think it's your job to find those people. And just like this thing with Ms. Comier, I find that volunteering for things like that, you tend to find people who have like spirits, who want to go out and help people, who enjoy seeing people succeed. And that's one of my precepts.
Oh, definitely. Now, as it relates to, let's talk about recently you made a trip to Washington, D.C. Prior to that trip, Mary Landrieu was in town. Of course, she was reelected to the United States Senate. She was interviewed here in studio by one of our hosts for one of the programs. She happened to see one of your portraits your paintings, which was displayed in one of our rooms here at AOC. And she was captivated, as anybody who sees Adrian's paintings will become captivated. And so as a result of that, and I'll let you take us into that story, Mr. Adrian goes to Washington. But take us into that story and kind of flesh it out for us, if you will.
Well, I had put some artwork over here, and that was during the time of Festival International. And I was down at my tent, and I was, doing portraits and such, and I had received a phone call that Mary Landrieu wanted to see me. And man, I said, wow, so I left my booth unattended and I ran down the street and I came down to see her, and very gracious person, very intelligent person, not because she liked my work, but because she was just easy to talk to. She told me that she would be interested in having me be more involved in art as far as having events in Washington, D.C. And she's a person of her word. They sent me a bulb, and the bulb that I have here is my rendition of Santa Claus. It's a crawfish with Santa Claus hat, and he has a sled being pulled by shrimp.
All right.
And the shrimp, they're supposed to reflect Louisiana. Well, this is my cartoon version of and there's a red-tailed shrimp, Rudolph the red-tailed shrimp, and he's passing over an oil rig. And he's trying to keep the gas prices low by
Okay, which they are right now, but let's keep the employment up. Gas prices low, employment up.
Yes, exactly. And I always have tried to use humor to. I think that it causes a lot of it deflates a lot of the stress that happens.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. But as far as with Senator Landrieu, she had also had me slated to have an art show in the Senate coming up this new year, and I'm really looking forward to that. When I was in Washington, man, I felt like a kid in Disneyland. I was just, I felt good.
Okay. Now, getting to the White House and being ferreted by Laura Bush, tell us about how did that start? And you recently came back from that trip. Tell us the beginnings of that.
Yes, I came back last Wednesday? Wednesday before last.
Picture of Mary Landrieu. That's one of several that he has done of Mary Landrieu, and it only gets better. I've seen several that he has completed. Just shows you just a little remnant of the tremendous talent and amazing creativity that Adrian has here. And again, he has a voluminous output of paintings. Some of the paintings you're seeing on your screen, situated between the two of us is the late Jim Morrison of the Doors. He has the fleur-de-lis, as you can see over the shoulder of Adrian, and of course we have Ray Charles and other artists here. We have Fish. We have just a wide berth and sampling of this talent that is instilled in this wonderful individual here. And as I said, one of Cité des Arts actresses and a friend of mine, I commissioned you to create a portrait, and you created several there. It seems that there's just no end to your talent. For instance, as it relates to the Freetown sketches, I had seen that on TV done several times. I had never seen it done publicly, and without any artifice, without any nervousness, you just went to it and created literally within the space of an hour and a half that wonderful painting. And you also, as you have mentioned, you paint, interestingly enough, in the rain.
Yes.
You paint in the rain. And yes, folks, you heard me correctly. He paints in the rain.